Today we are taking a look at the brand new Praesidus Type H-75, homaging the Breitling reference 817. Originally designed and issued in 1975 to helicopter pilots of the Italian Army. It is estimated that between 500 and 1,000 watches were ever made, making them a rare and sought-after collectible item today. This watch might be your best, affordable way to tap into that retro design today. Praesidus is an American brand dedicated to exploring the deep historical connection between military and horology. Their watches have been featured numerous times on this channel before, and it's no secret it is one of my favorite brands. I received the Type H-75 on loan from Praesidus for review, and I will be returning it once I'm done with it. The watch goes for $245 with no additional colorways to choose from. You do, however, get a choice between a few different straps. The one I have here today is the light gray canvas. Praesidus used the same type of military-issued style box for all their watches. Here is everything you can expect to get with your watch, including a metal 2 years international warranty dog tag. Here are the measurements. The width of the case is 38mm. Its thickness is 11.5mm including the protruding crystal. The distance between the lugs is 18mm. Lug tip to lug tip is 45.5mm. And it weighs 57 grams on the canvas strap. Water resistance is 100 meters, awesome to see on a chronograph. The main portion of the dial has a nice grainy texture. The minute track surrounding the dial is raised and features both lines and numbers at the 5-minute marks. Large raised and illuminated Arabic numerals mark all hours, except for the 3 and 9, where 2 sunken subdials are present. The subdial at the 3 o'clock position serves as a 24 hours indicator, and the one at the 9 o'clock position is a 60 minutes counter for the chronograph. Both subdials feature concentric circles patterns and white printed markings corresponding to their functions. The brand's name is found under the 12 o'clock index, and USA assembly abbreviation can be spotted at the very bottom of the dial. The hour and minute hands are white pencil shaped, flat, brushed, and filled with yellow-toned lume. There's no running seconds complication on this watch, and the central arrowhead seconds hand that is present functions as the chronograph's seconds counter. The 2 small subdial hands don't carry any lume, and are different shapes from each other. The lume is not going to win any awards here today, but it is decent for this type of watch. It is 2 different types of superluminova on the dial and hands. Both shine green when the lights are off. It is nice and bright initially, but doesn't last very long. The bezel has deep notches that provide perfect grip, and overhangs off the case in about 1mm, which also helps with the grip. It nails the retro style with an aluminum countdown bezel insert painted black. We're looking at a 120 clicks unidirectional bezel that clicks and ratchets nicely, but is not the tightest of bezels. There is some springy left to right action if you force it. Nothing too dramatic though, and the alignment with the dial is spot on. Covering the dial is a double-domed sapphire-coated mineral crystal, something we've seen this brand do before. It's probably not going to be as scratch-resistant as a sapphire crystal, but also not as prone to scuff and scratch like a plain mineral crystal. The case is made of mostly brushed 316L stainless steel, with some highly polished details on the edges of each one of the lugs. It has a utilitarian look overall, fitting with the style of the watch. The chronograph pushers and crown are oversized to guarantee the H-75's usability with aviation or field gloves. The top pusher starts and stops the chronograph, and the bottom one resets it into place with a snap. The crown is a push-pull type crown, polished and unsigned. The case back screws down into place to help achieve that 100 meters of water resistance, and features the watch's spec sheet engraved in a military fashion. Like always, you'll find USA assembly mentioned here. as all Praesidus watches are assembled in the United States using imported parts. The H-75 is powered by a VK64 movement. This is part of Seiko's VK line of hybrid mecha quartz movements, the line that brings quality chronograph movements to the masses. The 64 variant is a bicompact style chronograph movement that uses quartz technology for the main functions of the watch and a mechanical module for operating the chronograph. That's why the central seconds hand ticks 4 times every second. It sports no jewels and should give you up to 3 years of use before the battery runs out, depending on how heavily you use the chronograph feature. Its stated accuracy is between plus and minus 20 seconds per month. Praesidus straps are usually very nice. Unfortunately, this is not the case here with the light grey canvas strap. It looks good though. It has a canvas top and leather bottom, reinforced holes, quick release spring bars, and that Praesidus vintage style stainless steel buckle that I love so much. My problem with it is that the holes are positioned too far apart from one another, which renders the strap useless for me. The fit is either too tight or too loose, and either way is uncomfortable for me. I would strongly suggest opting for one of the leather straps available. Their leather straps are always incredible. On my 7-inch wrist, you can see what I mean. Here is the too loose option, and here is the too tight one. They're one hole apart. I'm going to do the wrist shot part of the video on different aftermarket straps today. So much better. For me, 38mm is the perfect size for a chronograph. And this is such a good looking chronograph. Very well balanced. If you know me, you know this is right up my alley. It is slim and it curves beautifully on your wrist, resulting in a comfortable wearing experience. The caliber H-17 this watch was made after was originally designed to be easy to read by pilots in the cockpit. Everything here was purposely designed with extreme legibility in mind, from the large numerals and wide hands to the air-coated crystal. Reading the time is a breeze. Pros and cons? Cons first. Like I keep saying, a tall mineral crystal is always going to be listed as a con. It is a way to cut cost and is less effective when it comes to scratch resistance than sapphire crystal, and not as easy to buff out like acrylic crystal. However, they did choose a sapphire coated mineral crystal, so that is going to make it more resistant than usual. A sapphire crystal would still have been preferred, even if it means a little bump in price. This is the first time I don't like a Praesidus strap. I like its vintage styling and I like the color, but I just don't like the choice I have between too tight and too loose. I really didn't enjoy wearing the watch on this strap, and actually found myself taking the watch off my wrist in the middle of the workday. I changed the strap as soon as I got home, and that was when I really started enjoying the watch. One thing that Praesidus always do well is telling stories through timepieces. Whether it's the story of someone specific whose legacy they want to honor, or a period in history they want to put in the spotlight. I always find the backstory to be an integral part of the watch, and a big part of why I was drawn to this brand to begin with. This time I feel like the Italian pilot's backstory is more of a vague notion than a real story, and for me that makes the H-75, well, just a homage watch. This doesn't say anything about the actual watch itself, and a quick look at my channel will tell you I have nothing against homage watches. It still is a really cool homage watch, but it's not a storytelling piece with deep significance like other Praesidus watches. Now for the pros. I love military watches and I love chronographs. Therefore, I absolutely adore military chronographs, especially ones that are done well. This one is done very well, and nails the look and spirit of its ancestor. It actually looks like a vintage watch. The dial is busy, but it's the good kind of busy, and I do love a busy dial. I love its depth and the different textures. I love the handset and the bold dial markings. I love the rugged look. I love that they used an aluminum bezel insert, I love the sunken subdials, and I love that the subdial hands are different from each other. I think that if I love everything about the watch except for the strap and maybe the material used for the crystal, we're doing well. The lume is okay for this type of watch, and the crystal does look good and does have AR coating on it. Also, there's a reason why the Seiko Mecha Quartz chronograph line is so successful. It is just a solid movement. These are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to the Type H-75 in the description of this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection, and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. Here are a couple of quick links to my reviews of 2 more awesome Praesidus watches. Check one of these out next. I want to thank Praesidus for sending me yet another banger for review, and to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.